Will you comment and guide us as to why Alistair Beck is mistaken in advising a member of his flock to attend and solemnize a marriage of her granddaughter to a transgender partner? Can you guide us as to why we should not bend to do this?
Yeah, that question
Thank you.
Came up and has gotten all over the internet. Let me say, first of all, that Alistair and I have been friends for 45 years. When I was in Scotland 45 years ago, I was pushing his son in a pram. You know what a pram is, Neil? It's like a baby buggy. So we've had a lot of history together. And I have a great affection for him. I also want to say that you shouldn't judge a man by his weakest moment. All of us will have a moment of weakness. Having said that, I have to disagree with the answer that he gave to the question. A believer should not go to a homosexual transgender wedding for a lot of reasons. But he was making the argument that you go out of compassion rather than condemnation. You go to show love to them as a means to reach them. My response to that is the most loving thing you could possibly do would be not to go and to condemn the relationship. That is loving. It's not loving to help somebody celebrate stepping into the fury of God's judgment. No transgender person, effeminate homosexual, will enter the kingdom of heaven. This is not a time for you to celebrate thinking that your affection for somebody is the means of their salvation. They will come to salvation when the Lord exposes their sin. That's why the Holy Spirit, John 16, convicts of sin and righteousness and judgment. And what should be said to somebody is, this is wrong. This is against God's order. This is not marriage. It is not a marriage because you can't have a marriage between two people of the same sex. It's not a marriage at all. It is defying God who ordained marriage and ordained male and female and designed procreation. It is a blasphemy against God, as is transgender life and homosexuality as well. That is the message to give in love. I couldn't, beyond the theological reasons and the biblical reasons, I couldn't affirm that. If I went, I would affirm that. Not only could I not affirm it, I don't think I could tolerate it. I don't think I could survive sitting in something like that and feeling like I was supportive of it. And then to give them a gift, that is to aid and abet the celebration of something that is defying God's design. And the very, very, I would say, point of the spear currently of the corruption of this entire culture. So you can't be a part of that.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's my pleasure. I do say this. I don't understand why you would answer the question that way. I thought if somebody was in that situation and had that view, and you're on the radio and somebody says, and this, you're recording this, right? So whoever your host is going to ask you a question, and the host says, what would you tell this grandma about going to a transgender wedding? I would immediately say, ask me another question. Particularly if I was at all prone to suggest that might be okay, I would never say that, because you have to calculate the cost of that. And how do you calculate that? I mean, the price for that is really epic. It's really epic. And there's so much more about him that is wonderful and and faithful in his ministry. He just passed 40 years of pastoral ministry in that church. And it was a great celebration. And now he's going to be defined by that. I don't know how you calculate doing that for that reason. Unless there is some very personal relationship with someone you're trying to win over or protect. But that's really speculation in my mind.